Hey guys, what's up? In this video, I want to I want to give you guys kind of a tutorial on when to sell a stock, and this tutorial is more. I guess it kind of varies, but it's probably geared more towards. Well, I'm just gonna talk about when to sell a stock, pretty much when you're day trading or when you're um, when you're trading the stock as an investment. I kind of know how the firms trade stocks. Kind of. Basically, what they do is they buy, they do their due diligence on the stock. They pretty much figure out whether the stock is at the lows or close to the low, and they buy that stock and they pretty much hold it for a month. Wherever that stock is a month from where they from when they bought the stock is when they sell the stock. I think that's how the firms do it. But if you guys know exactly how that works when these pros are trading it at their firms, let me know because I'm curious. I spoke to professional stock traders and such, but a lot of them actually have information that you wouldn't normally have when you're trading stocks. I'm pretty sure of that. But if you guys know any different, let me know. So, as it pertains to day trading, and I guess this is gonna be like a general tutorial as far as that's concerned, because it's almost impossible for anybody to tell you exactly when to put a sell on a stock or a cover. I mean, that's pretty much just up to you doing what you think is best for you at the moment. But it's a pretty known deal that most people who trade stocks actually trade it after its climax, after it's hit its top. And they'll trade it either on the way down or at the very bottom. Most of the people actually sell that stock at the bottom. They don't actually sell it at the top when it has hit its top. So, since you guys know that, since everybody knows that, that's just a common factual info, statistic, or whatever. People do not generally, even professional traders, they don't trade at the top. They don't sell it at the top. They sell it on the bottom. So they miss that opportunity to cash in at the very highs. And the reason why they do that is pretty much because they're always looking at to go higher than where it is. They're always looking at to go higher than where it is, and then it starts going down, and they'll hold it, hoping they'll go higher, still maintain an increase in price. But a lot of times that they'll miss the highs, and it doesn't do that, and they'll hold the stock, until it gets to the very bottom, maybe as low as where they bought it, or maybe lower a lot of the times. And not only will they miss out on whatever gains that they could get, but they miss out on selling the stock. They miss out on selling the stock. They miss out on selling the stock. They miss out on making any kind of money off the stock, is what I'm trying to say. So, in general, when do you sell a stock? So, if you're day trading, you're going to be reading graphs. Even if you're an investor, you'll probably be reading graphs. And you're probably going to look for a top, a double top, probably looking for a top or a double top, you know, and a lot of times these tops and double tops that you're looking at could be pretty misleading. So a lot of people are looking for looking at the previous top, and then they're looking at support, and then they're looking for, to see whether that price goes above the previous top, or whether it comes close to the previous top, which is a double top, which is your indicator of when the stock is going to be on a downward trajectory at that point. But it's a really tricky market out there at this point. It's a little bit different than if you're like trading 10 years ago, because I've been noticing a lot of times that whatever setup is out there that keeps you. Okay, let me just explain that there is a setup out there that primarily knows what you're looking for as far as when to sell it, when to buy, whatever. But there is a setup out there where they know what you're trying to look for. All right? They know what you're trying to look for as far as what you're looking for as far as when to sell the stock, like, or when to keep the stock. So there are times, a lot of times actually, when a lot of people, when they're looking at a stock pattern, they'll hold the stock and they'll know that that the upward pattern will just keep on going upward if it goes above the previous high. If it goes above the previous high, that pretty much means that the stock is going to go higher, right, in general. But that's not always the case, and a lot of times it's just there just to fool you into keeping the stock, so or buying it at the wrong time. So let's just say if the stock went above, maybe 10 cents above the previous high. As you guys know, the pattern of higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs and higher lows means that the stock is going to just keep on that upward pattern. But a lot of times, you really don't know whether that higher high is the absolute top of the stock, or it's just a stepping stone to a higher high. So basically, when I used to trade, as far as day trading is concerned, I would actually put like a 10-cent margin of when the stock hit its high. If the stock goes above that previous high, you kind of think that it's going to go higher since it's a higher high from the previous high, but it could be the high of the day, right? So that's kind of tricky in that you can't really know for sure. You can't really know for sure what that trading pattern is, whether that's just a one stepping high, so for another high after that, or another high after that, or it's just the high of the day. You're never gonna know. So you're never gonna know the high, and you're not gonna know exactly the high, and you're not gonna know exactly the low. So depending on when you bought the stock, if it does hit the high or whatever, and you end up buying that stock at the worst time, at the wrong time, chances are that you're going to get screwed, because when it dips quite a bit. It'll dip like 30%, it'll dip like 40%, it'll dip quite a bit. And if you bought it at the wrong time, and if it's hit its high of the day, there's no way you're going to figure out when to get out of that stock. So when do you know when to sell? There is a middle path. There's a midpoint. All right, you're gonna try to sell in between. You're not going to try to guess the highs, and you're not going to try to guess the low. Okay, you're going to buy close to the low, and you're going to sell close to the high. And that's just the best way I could put it as far as that's concerned. You're going to sell close to the high, or you're going to sell in that mid-range. As long as you're getting some kind of profit off of it, that's the range you're going to sell. Forget about trying to guess what that high is, because a lot of people who try guessing what the high of the stock is really actually end up just riding that wave down, and then holding that stock, and then just riding the next wave down, and it's just an absolute horror show as far as that's concerned. So when do you know when to sell the stock? I'm just going to say there's a mid-range. Don't be greedy. Don't try to look for that absolute top on that stock. Don't try to guess it. Don't try to look for it. Don't be greedy. Just try to sell the mid-range. And the mid-range is, as long as you're making some kind of profit off of it, sell it. All right? As long as you're making some kind of profit off of it, sell it. I mean, I could try to give you guys an intricate, detailed analysis, but here's the thing. There's absolutely no fundamentals as far as a set rule on when to do any of these stock trading strategies. There really isn't. Because there's like, every stock is different. And not only is every stock different, but every stock is kind of manipulated. They're kind of manipulated, all right, by outside forces, and a lot of times purposely. And you guys will probably think that that's just wrong, or it's false, or I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you guys have traded these stocks enough, you guys will know that it is almost impossible to catch it at the high and to catch it at its low. You're gonna miss the low when you're catching it at the low, buying at the low, and you're gonna miss the high when you're trying to trade it high. And chances are you're just gonna make a really crappy trade. And if you ever catch it at the wrong time, as far as buying that stock or selling that stock, you can lose a ton of money. So I've kind of like intertwined the strategies of buying and selling. The best I could tell you is that try to sell it in the middle. Try to sell it in the middle as it's going up. All right. Do not try to sell that stock waiting for it to hit its peak, because you're never gonna guess what that peak is. You're never gonna guess what that low is. When you're buying that stock, you probably should buy it somewhere in the middle, close to the low, close to it, and then sell it close to the high. And pretty much what I'm saying when I'm giving you guys this kind of strategy is, you guys should probably sell it when you guys have some kind of profit, because it's impossible to guess the highs and the lows. And you guys think it's just maybe this guy doesn't know what he's doing when he's telling you this information. But like I said, there is a ton of software for every single thing that's available. And stocks, if there is any kind of fundamentals that exist in stocks, and every single thing, or most of the charts actually hold true as far as candlesticks charts, and where the double tops are, and the double lows, and double bottoms, and all that stuff. If there were exact fundamentals on all those graphs, they could actually make some kind of software, especially with the candlestick charts and stuff like that. Develop software where the software knows exactly, pinpoint exactly, or even close to exactly when to buy and when to sell. But that's not the case. So, take my advice any way you guys want to take it. I'm not telling you guys this is the way that you guys should be doing it, because look, it's a free world. You guys trade however you guys want, and there's a gazillion ways of when to buy and when to sell a stock, and you can make up any ways you guys want. You guys could look at the chart and see it how you guys want to see that chart, and make the decisions that you guys want to make the decisions, deal with it however you guys want to deal with it. But the reality is you guys would be doing yourselves a favor if you guys aren't trying to look for the very bottom, and you guys aren't trying to look for the very top. All right, just have an estimate of where the bottom is and buy it, close to where it is. All right, and then give you guys an estimate of where the top is and sell it when it's close to where the top is. Don't ever try to guess the exact bottom. Don't ever try to chase a stock, as far as where the bottom is. Don't ever try to chase stock as far as, riding it out to the very top, because you never, ever, 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 ever kind of guess where that is. So what you guys should do is pretty much just trade the middle is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Just trade the middle. Trade the middle. Don't try to look for the top, absolute top, and don't try to look for the absolute bottom. I'm absolutely I absolutely want you guys to leave your comments if you guys think what I'm saying is BS, or you guys have issues with what I'm saying, or you guys don't believe that what I'm telling you is effective, or you guys think that it's ineffective or whatever. But that's what I've that's what I've surmised. That's what I've came across that worked for me as far as trading stocks is concerned. Well, I wouldn't say worked for me. I would say more than not, it worked better than trying to chase the high and trying to chase the low, as far as buying that stock and trying to chase, because you're gonna miss out on the low and you're gonna miss out on the high. All right, so just trade the middle, and that's just my general rule as far as buying and selling the stock. Trade the middle. Don't look for the top. All right, as long as you guys are making enough money off the stocks, sell it, and that's that's the best strategy that I can tell you guys on when to pretty much buy it and sell it. I put this video as a when to sell your stock video, but the strategy that kind of works is to trade the middle. I mean, that's what I call it. Trade the middle, whatever the trade the middle is what I call it. So however you guys want to take that, let me know if it works for you. If it doesn't, no big deal. Because every other strategy, kind of none of that stuff is fundamentally in the works when it comes to real life stock trading situations. It's like anybody could tell you can buy books on how to hit a baseball or shoot a basketball or throw a football, but how many people actually have a good shooting average, batting average, throwing, so it's kind of like that as far as stock trading is concerned. Nothing's really set in stone. There really aren't any fundamentals to it. There aren't like a gazillion Warren Buffetts, even though he put out books on like how he traded stocks and his methodology on what he bought and stuff like that. You only see like one Warren Buffett. If that was replicable, think about it. If that was replicable, you'd be seeing a bunch of other names besides Warren Buffett making money the way he does. So I'm not even gonna go into that, because I really don't know what the setup is for someone like Warren Buffett. I don't know of what he's doing. The guy is like a billionaire. I'm pretty sure he has a ton of information, whether they be through legitimate means or not, that actually that helps him out with his stock trading. So take it however you will on that. I'm not smearing Warren Buffett's name or anything like that, but a lot of these corporations do have their different means of getting information before they're released on the stock, so that they could put their trades in so that they can profit as much as they can off it. And I'm sure a lot of these companies are actually setting up um, um, situations where if they put enough money into a certain stock, it raises it to a certain level, and then they know when to sell it when they take the money out, stuff like that. But that's my video on when to buy and sell a stock. If you guys have any comment on it, please, let me know. Comments on it. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this helps you guys out. But if you guys want like a specific way of doing it, like every stock is different, and anybody ever tells you otherwise is just BSing you. Not only is every stock different, but there's just so many outside forces working on stocks. When you buy certain shares, when you sell them, I mean, a lot of people have a lot more information than you, and a lot of that stuff is actually manipulated. So I mean, take it however you guys want to take it. All right, take care.